Good morning, everyone. Swiftcal playing some more Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Randomizer. This is going to be another tutorial video following up on my last one. And the reason I'm doing this is because last time I started with FuSoYa, the best mage, and then got all of the good physical characters with all of their equipment, making the game go in a pretty specific direction. So this time, we have disabled Kain, Edge, Cecil, and FuSoYa. The rest of the settings here are the same as last time, except I changed the objectives around to make sure we're doing the Baron Castle basement, which means Baron Castle, the super cannon in the tower, and the rat tail, since those are things that I skipped last time. We're gonna still be doing the same type of thing. I'm gonna be not racing through at top breakneck speed. We're gonna be stopping to talk about things, looking at menus, talking about specifics with characters, and since I've got those like super characters disabled, we should be getting a slightly... It's probably going to take a little longer anyway. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. I am assuming that is a forum start, which is going to be rough. And rough starts are pretty much how mages work. We got our tower key right off the bat. Okay, so tower key means once we get underground, we can go do that. We have Porum and Iridia, who are two of the lowest damage output, squishiest characters in the game. We do have characters enabled, so we will be able to start off by digging up some help for them, which is good. So, if free characters are not turned on and you get a start like this, the first thing you do is loot. And your goal with looting with these characters is going to be finding a few damaging items. You want items like the big bomb, vampires, that sort of thing. We're gonna hop over here to the item shop real quick just to see if we need to come back here. No. Kamikaze is the only thing that's really good there. And then we're gonna recruit our additional characters. We get an Edward, who is the next worst character for damage output, and a Tella, who is actually the next worst character for damage output. Okay. I knew this was going to be a slightly rough start. Once we get going, this party's just going to wreck everything. We're also going to keep looking for more characters as we go. So once again, we start in Mazidia. This is my preference. I know this isn't how everybody does it, and that's okay. Next thing we're going to check is the waterway. Now, we have a Tella. And one of the nice things with Tella is that he gets the exit spell right off the bat. Second Edward, hooray. So, one of the things we're going to be discussing a lot as we go through this, and as far as deciding which characters to keep and how everything works, is going to be spell selection. Certain characters learn spells at different rates. Tella doesn't actually have a progression for learning spells. He starts out with 6 random white magic spells and some additional black magic spells, and then doesn't learn anything else until you get to Mount Hobbs. Or not Mount Hobbs, Mount Ordeals. And then he learns everything. FuSoYa has a very specific way to restrict his spell learning. Namely, he starts with a certain number of spells and then ends up learning 3 additional spells each time you beat a boss. It's a pretty specific way, but he also can learn spells really early. Okay, so we're gonna kind of finish this little jaunt here. Now, once again, since this party is so weak, starting out, we want to go deep on our looting. And part of the reason we can do this is because Tella learns the exit spell. Or starts with the exit spell. And exit is really, really nice for early game, because you can do things like walk through this entire area and then exit out. And immediately be sent back to your airship. Now, because of where we parked the airship, we can wander down here and back into Hypo so that we can check who the character here is. It's twin. I can't tell which one it is when they're in bed. Okay, so in games with restricted character, one of the big things that's important is some equipment is not usable. We don't need to keep Edge's swords or a lot of these other random things. Nobody can use a defense sword. Nobody can throw a shuriken. We'll keep the rest. Actually, no, we don't need the silver either. Because we can technically get a Sid. So I picked up some ethers there because we have a bunch of mages. Pretty straightforward. I picked up the Ashura summon because that will give Rydia a little bit of additional flexibility. We're actually going to skip ahead slightly here. I'm not actually going to finish the objective yet, but when you go to Mount Hobbs on the back end here, Rydia will get a summon. They replaced... That's one of the things they replaced. So... Again, just trying to get Rydia a little bit more flexibility. Now, Rydia starts at level 1. So she is the absolute squishiest character to start with. And one of the big problems is she actually can't cast any of her spells. Or very few. Even if we do get her these extra spells, she doesn't get the ability to cast them until later. Okay, we're gonna make one more stop. And that's because I'm still not feeling super confident. And I'm kind of hoping that when we get this additional character, it's going to be I would prefer getting a Sid or a Yang. Honestly, a Sid would be amazing right here. I did leave a few of those physical characters in, and even when you have a very mage-heavy group, it's totally fine to have a couple physical characters to kind of help buffer that out. Basically, sometimes you need a tank. I think that is a Palom. Perfect. So I think we're gonna get rid of one of our eddies. I'm not gonna take his equipment. Okay. And I think we're gonna go ahead and try Antlion. Next logical spot is to do Antlion. We're gonna loot. So the twins, the biggest thing with the twins is their low HP. Especially Porum has terrible HP growth, and Rosa is unfortunately better than her in most ways. The one thing that Porum has going for her is she does get a few spells earlier than Rosa. And that's not saying much. But things like Berserk and Exit, Porum learns much earlier than Rosa. So the other advantage is that Porum has the ability to trigger Twin with her brother. Okay, so Porum, we're going to start off with here. Wizard, Life. I think we're going to give Rydia... Let's make sure Rydia survives this first fight. We're basically just going to make her as strong as possible here, just to make sure she survives. Edward? Can Edward use the Zeus Gauntlet? No. Can anybody in our group use the Zeus Gauntlet? Rydia can when she grows up. So we're gonna give Edward the Assassin Dagger. Put him front and center. Actually, I'm gonna switch this around a little bit. This is probably way overthinking what I should be doing here. Okay, sure, Odin. And I'm not seeing much else in the way of stuff I can use. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this, get our sword, and hope for a relatively easy boss. Now, I'm gonna be really upfront. There is a decent chance that I'm just gonna die here. And that we'll have to reorganize a little. Oh, that's right, I was gonna do something like this. Wait, is that a heroine robe? No, I just missaw. Okay. I guess I do also have this, do I have arrows? I don't have arrows. I have a bow, but no arrows. Okay. So the Okay, this should be okay. This should be okay. So his wave ability is based on... Perfect. So yeah, his wave ability is based on his HP. He only has 1,000 HP. He's probably still capable of killing Rydia and Edward. But we're just going to be able to... focus him down, and then use Twin to finish him off. Twin is a very powerful ability, and there's a few of those type of specials that they really aren't useful for long, but they can be really useful for these first few fights. Pinktail. Okay. Pinktail is not a progression item. It gives you a... in certain flag sets, it actually gives you... the adamant armor. We have adamant armor turned off because it's broken. To me, it makes the game not fun. It is basically armor that is so good that it makes every other piece of armor worthless, and it's equipable by everyone. And that may sound fun, and it can be, if you just want to feel like a superpowered god, but that's about the restrictions on it, yeah. Yeah. I have no idea how this is gonna go. We may have to wait on it. Actually, let's just see how much Twin does. I think we can keep up with this. This boss fight isn't super powerful. Okay, so now we're gonna wait until she casts Life 1, and then hit, and that should leave her on Ice 1, or on Life 1 rather. So you can see there, if you attack right after she does that Life 1, it locks her in place, so she will continue to just do life and stop healing herself. Ashura, from Rydia's summon, is also really useful because it can randomly full heal your party or resurrect multiple people. I don't always recommend it, but that's where we're at. So we took Rosa because she's really good late game. Ideally, the goal right now would be to find a second Hallam to replace his sister. Okay, so we're gonna check for Bool. Perfect. Dancing Dagger. And actually, we're gonna pick up a few of these silver armbands as well. Because survivability at this point is very important. Soma drops. Soma drops give you a bunch of MP. And again, this party is all mages currently. Sell all the stuff we can't use, and that we're not going to be able to use. Still gonna hold out hope for that Yang or Sid. You want to get rid of the Charm Claw, because as you can see there in the top left right corner, it has a 50% hit rate. That means that it's going to lower his accuracy substantially. Okay, so we're going to use these Soma drops first. We're going to make Tella have a little bit more MP, because his MP is low. Second thing we're going to do is equip these Dancing Daggers. And actually, I'm going to pull these other pieces of equipment real quick. So I want the front row. To be... I think I want this as my front row, just for hit points again. So Dancing Dagger... Samurai Bow, Ninja, Black Belt, Crystal, just to make sure she's super survivable. Tella, I'm giving this, giving the Glass Helm, and a Silver Ring. Hallam, we're giving the Dancing Dagger. The second Dancing Dagger. And I don't think we had anything else for him. And then for him, we've got the equipment she already had. I think we're good. Okay. So Dancing Daggers can be used as an item to do a fairly substantial amount of damage early game, usually about 300-400. They go based on your magic stat to an extent, so the mage characters that can use them are good. Eddie can also use it. Edward. We should be good on this. I think. Ooh, counters that with Blaze. Okay, that may have been a mistake. Yep, that was a mistake. So each of those attacks that I just did specifically do 1/4 of your hit points, because he counters magic with Blaze. So that was a big mistake on my part. We'll be okay though. Specifically, I'm fairly sure that this Rosa can just tank this and finish it off quick. We'll just have to keep her alive through the big waves, but the way that she's equipped, she should be. Let's see how much she takes from these physical attacks. Yeah. Now, we do need to make sure we heal because of those percentage-based attacks that he's going to do. This is a situation where if I was in more of race mode, we would probably reset as soon as I made that first mistake. And that's okay. It's unfortunate that we're not getting the XP from it. And everybody should be healed up after that. So we can continue pressing on. Right now, we have the Twin Harp as an option. We have Mount Ordeals. We have Baron Inn as the only 3 options that are available, I believe. Yeah. We're going to stop on the next town. Once again, we're looking for ideally some damage dealing items as just kind of a supplement. Like the Thor Rage, if we found a boss where it was relevant. So many edge weapons. Now, finding short swords isn't always just kind of worthless. Clear out another round of stuff. Just because we've got so much crap here. Now, I meant to only buy 1 stack of bombs, and I may not even use them, but they could be okay, depending on which bosses we're fighting. I'm fairly sure that things like Twin and Dancing Dagger are going to go a lot further at this point. Let's do our save. So we haven't found a lot in the way of good mage equipment yet. And I'm kind of hoping that our route underground is not going to be... Second Tella, wow, okay. We don't need a second Tella, that's for sure. Like, Tella can be decent, but not really in this situation, and you usually don't need 2. He's generally useful as a utility character. So I split my saves there, so that I have one at the top of the mountain, one at the bottom, so that depending on what bosses we fight, we have a little bit of flexibility. Okay. Triggered his form change. I think... Yeah, we'll just use an hourglass. Once the Dark Elf changes forms, he's vulnerable to status effects, like Stop. And now we should just be able to use the Dancing Dagger to finish him off. By the way, Rosa's aim command automatically sets her accuracy at 100% and doesn't count as a physical attack for counters. So very, very useful, and one of the reasons that Rosa can actually, in this group, depending on what equipment we find, there's a good chance that Rosa is going to be helping carry us physically. Leviathan, okay. This could be a little rough, but I think we'll be okay. See how much these ice 2s do. A lot. Okay. So this spot is one of the examples where in the original game, this character, the Mylon Z fight here is physical. He just sits there and does physical attacks. However, he has one status effect move that just poisons you. Now, status effect moves in this game, the reliability of them is based on your magic stat. So, basically, his accuracy, they gave him a high magic stat to give him a good chance of poisoning you. Which, unfortunately, in this case, results in ridiculous ice. There's a decent chance that these ice 2s are just going to kill, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's why we buy giant stacks of life potions, quite frankly. There we go. You can see there, Dancing Dagger definitely pulling its weight. And the Twin. Those are both just very strong early game effects that dish out fairly standardized damage. Change. And then come back over here. Should get a full heal, and this boss only has 1,000 hit points, which with Dancing Daggers means we're going to be knocking it out pretty quick. There's only a couple bosses that I'd be really worried about being in this spot right now. And it's the hook, unfortunately. Okay. Karate. Okay, this should be okay. He does hit pretty hard. But this spot isn't super strong. So Twin randomly does either Comet or Flare. The big difference is that Flare is reflectable and Comet is not. And I believe Flare single targets whilst Comet does everything. It's kind of not a huge difference most of the time, except when it's really important. It is random which one it is. You don't have control over it. So like against the Mega Sisters, pulling Comet is really good. If you are not against the Mega Sister, but if pulling Flare, you could end up accidentally reflecting it back to your party. Cannot exit from ordeals. So Tella now knows every spell except for the really good ones. He does not learn Nuke, he does not learn Quake for Black Magic, and he does not learn White. Okay, so now we've got this. We've got this hook. We can use that to try and go underground. However, this party is not very strong compared to our last one that we had. Going underground is going to be really painful right now. So we're going to try and do the other available fight first. There's one more spot we can go, which is Baron. Now, we don't have the Baron key yet. Oops. Are we full? No, we just don't have money. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That stuff's not that important right now. Okay. I think that is a Palom, which is what we want. Okay, so we're gonna shoot Luge first. We want to spread out the damage a little bit so we can take them out at the same time, because wow, he actually did enough damage to kill himself there because that spot has such low hit points. Okay, this is the second phase now. Also still low hit points. That's the guard fight originally, which is pretty easy. This is the hard one, and Plague can actually be pretty nasty. We're gonna have Rosa attack because she is gonna be our main damage output with her bow. Plague is weak to Plague is weak to bow and arrow. So he's a flying enemy. Just quick seeing if there's any good way that we could do this. I'm gonna end up using Coffin, I think. Or was gonna use a Coffin on herself. Once again, our goal here is gonna be to make him reset his timer. Well, this is unfortunate in some ways, but really good in others. This is not a spot that you actually get additional XP. Apparently it's a very fast spot. However, each time we resurrect somebody, he should reset the count again. Perfect timing. Should still have one pending from that Rosa getting up. There we go. And And this, like I said, this spot was originally the karate spot. Does not actually give XP. And we got the darkness crystal. Okay. So this gets into some really weird stuff that we could potentially do. Oh, that's a porum. I was thinking it was a palum. Okay, yeah, we don't want porum. Namely, at this point, if we wanted to, we could try and... I think we could try and do a grind before we go underground. I think what I'd like to do is just head this way. I guess technically we could do Twin Harp, but that's going to be a really rough spot. Okay, so what we're going to do is head in. We're going to do some looting on the way. Charm Rod is good. That'll be a good point for our transition from Dancing Dagger. Basically, once our black mages start getting the spells they need. I guess often Hermes. Okay, so let's get rid of this Earth Hammer. Thunder Rods, Silver Helm. Shouldn't need the Thor Rage. And buy some coffins. Coffins are instant death, so my thought here is specifically looking at some of the potential monster chests that we could end up getting here. Ooh. Well, we may be no longer waiting for that, Sid. Because I need the money. We'll find new stuff. So Tiara is one of the better defensive items. Black Robe is a really strong item for our black mages. So I'm gonna get 2 of these, 1 of these. And this is gonna be pretty strong transition. Like I said, at some point, you need to just be able to switch, and that is that point right there. Hallam has the level 2 spells. That'll probably be good for getting through this next section. Double check over here quick. We can actually get a second Charm Rod also. So, Rydia does not learn as many spells as fast as Hallam. You can see here, she's still a bit behind. So actually, I think we're going to leave her with the Dancing Dagger for now, because of that. She doesn't actually have as much to contribute. If she got a good summon, which she could pull at some point through this dungeon. Okay, we are healed up. We're gonna go through here. If we get the monster chest, it's going to be rough. These things hit relatively hard, and we have a very squishy party. However, I believe we should be able to take them out, and that'll be some good experience and another potentially good item. The Stalemen, who we're going to be fighting in the monster chest. Oh, there we go. Sylph. That changes everything. So Sylph is probably the best source of mid-game damage, period. It hits the enemy party, it bypasses wall. I can't remember 100% if coffins work here. They don't. Okay, that's what I thought. At least they're being nice enough to spread out their damage. So the big thing with Sylph is it actually heals your party. So it damages the enemies, heals your party, and pretty good amount that it hits for. You can also see there the difference in output between Callum and Tella. So, the fact that Tella does not hit very hard is partially because of his equipment. I gave Callum a bunch of really strong equipment there, and he just learned Virus. And we got another Black Robe, which actually we'll put on Tella because he's really not doing very well as far as damage output goes. So you can see there why Sylph is so good. You can also see why heading this way right now is slightly problematic because our party is squishy. Magus Sisters at that spot is going to be rough. They're going to be blocking off our magic with wall. We would really prefer to have Quake. Another Porum. We do not want another Porum right now. So at this point, we need to level up a bit. And I think... So there's a couple different ways we could do this. The first would be to go to the moon, because we have the darkness crystal, and just take a random fight. The darkness crystal, or the stuff on the moon, is going to be high enough level that we should just get some levels off of it. The problem is you have to be able to kill it, and we're not very good at that. We want things that we can use these coffins on, ideally. Second thing we could try is going to the giant and doing a D-machine run. Now, again, we're super squishy, but that should be all percentage-based damage if we're there, and as long as we get into a good rhythm, we should be okay. You know what? I said I was going to do a D-machine grind on this one, and outside of the fact that we really need some additional items, probably, maybe. I'm trying to remember where some of these shops were, so we're going to just pop in over here quick. That is not what we were looking for. Should really equip that diamond bracelet at some point. The big thing we don't really have is a good way to finish off the alarm when we're done. So I guess we just would have to use... no, we've got enough damage output, I think, maybe? Okay, we're gonna try it. This could be a terrible idea. We do have ethers, which is also an important piece of the D-machine grind. But we did also get Soma drops, which helps. So I tried to kind of go over how this works in my last video, but I didn't actually really have the characters or the need to go through and actually do a D-machine grind. Now, technically there is a step route for this. There's a way that you can manipulate the RNG. I'm going to do my best to emulate it, but I don't know enough to know what I'm looking for. And therefore, I'm just not going to worry about it too much. I know the area we need to be in. We do want to make sure we're healed up first. I think we're okay here. Okay, so we're gonna save. And apparently we're getting an encounter right off the bat. That is probably not the right one, but we'll try it. Okay. Gonna hand everything. I think this is okay to do. Hopefully this takes out the 2 beamers, but not the searcher. Did not take out any of them. Should also be trying to pay attention to the rhythm of this. Okay, so Tella, Rosa, that works. Forum. Rydia. Okay. So we're gonna get into a rhythm here. And this is not the right fight, unfortunately. We'll reset. This is why we saved. Or part of why we saved. Okay. So we're looking for, yep, searcher beamer. So we're not looking for the one that summons the centaur. That's the wrong fight. Actually, Hallam being down might be okay here. Okay, so just to check this cycle, that's not a great cycle. Oops. Slight misclick. Okay, we're gonna resurrect Hallam just to see if that messes with the order. So Tella, Forum. It's okay, I guess. Okay, good. There we go. That was a slight mistake. This is the D machine. Okay, so he's gonna cast weak. Then I'm gonna have Rydia use Sylph. Fire is a percentage-based attack, so it should not actually kill us as long as we heal. And then we use Life Clutch. And then Forum does nothing. So this is the cycle. Every time we hit this guy, he's going to summon another D machine. Telecasts weak. The weak spell reduces its hit point total to below 10. So it basically gives it single digit hit points so that we can kill it in one hit no matter what. Rydia is using Sylph as her way to kill it, partially because that also gives me healing. So it's kind of a twofer. He uses the life potion. She uses an ether on Tella. That's not good. Somehow our order got screwed up there. Yep, we're off rhythm, so hopefully we'll survive this. That's our goal right now. It's gonna be survive this. We're gonna have Rydia cast a Sylph even though we don't have the weak on, just to get the healing from it. Technically, you should generally set up some agility anchoring before this fight, which was probably the mistake I made. Come on. The nice thing is that you actually have this chance in between to kind of heal up, recollect. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and just keep going. Now that we've got our rhythm back. Again, it doesn't matter if Palam's dead until the very end. I'm gonna see if I can actually get a double here. Looking like no. You can use the Life 1 spell to kind of delay the input for that life. so we could theoretically have set up a life potion as well. Okay, I feel like we've done a decent chunk of damage here. Let's see if we can start killing that searcher. I'm not sure Tella's actually going to be able to kill it in one shot. In which case this could be a problem, now that I'm thinking about it. Yep, that's probably actually not a good thing that we just did. Okay, we're okay. I made a mistake. Part of teaching is being able to admit you made a mistake, right? Right? That was a big mistake. Okay, as long as he's not doing physical attacks, we're okay. We're gonna do Sylph on the Searcher, and the reason we're doing this is to continue weakening it so that when we actually are ready, we can kill it. Oops. So, I don't usually do D-Machine grinds. I'm putting it in here as a teaching tool so you can see how it's done. You know, I didn't quite get the step route perfect, but we made it work. I didn't quite get the rhythm perfect, but we made it work. And that's one of the biggest things with this game, is just make it work. That's a problem. Well, the good news is, most of our party just got 481,000 experience. The bad news is Rydia didn't. Because of that timing on that last hit. So 25 levels on Forum. 25 levels on Palom. I suppose the good news is we can actually slingshot Rydia. She'll get double XP for the rest of the game, pretty much. So, outside of a few major mistakes, you can now see how that works. That could have been done much more smoothly, obviously. And you can start to see some of the differences in the characters. You can see there, Rosa has 600 more hit points than Forum. You can see here, Rosa's got Pure 4, Forum doesn't, even though they're the same level. And that's why, despite the fact that Forum learns certain spells like Exit and Berserk earlier, Rosa is the endgame Black Mage or White Mage of Wands. Palom, you can see here, is learning all of the 3 spells. He'll have Nuke soon. He's got Quake, and he is a powerhouse. Rydia learns those spells a little bit later. I'm gonna go save quit. Even though that wasn't perfect, this should actually be fine. I mean, our goal is just to be able to get through this next section anyway. So this is one of those, we could technically go do another D-Machine grind to get Rydia. And because of the way that XP works, she's the lowest level character by a significant margin, which means she's actually not, or she's going to get I believe, triple experience for the next couple fights until she catches up. We have other ways that we can grind. Like, we're not limited to just doing D machines as our grind options with this party. But now, with those level 40 characters, even though Rydia's not one of them, we should theoretically be able to, you know, get through the hook route into the underground, which was our initial goal in the first place. It just means Rydia's not going to be contributing. And you know what? That's okay. That also means that when we get the XP boosts from some of these enemies, we should be able to pull some pretty serious basically, the next time we beat a boss, Rydia's gonna get a bunch of levels. Okay, make sure we've got Tiara Black, Tiara. So, Tiara is not as good for white mages, but it is a strong defensive item. Okay. So, we're gonna make our way down to the save point. Make our way down. Tella. So, the fight that we've got coming up is against the Maga Sisters. This is potentially going to be a problematic fight in normal situations. However, I think with a powered up Hallam that we've got, we should be okay. Yeah, Hallam. We also have Tella. And Tella, in a lot of situations, Tella is not that good as far as damage contribution. In this case, because of the Soma drops we bought earlier, Tella has one big advantage of pretty much every other character in the game, and that is the fact that he learns Medio early. You're not supposed to be able to cast it, but with that Soma drop, he gets that ability. So Rydia can use Sylph, Tella can use Medio, and Palom can use Quake to get past that. We're gonna go ahead and save. And we don't know what this first fight is. Baron Guards, okay. Where's it, Kaipo Guards? Well, the bad news is I totally forgot to heal. The good news is it's this fight, which means we can use an Hourglass, we can use a Coffin, should have technically done Life Glitch. Just try and use... There we go. Instant death. Not gonna worry about it too much. Oh, that's not an XP fight anyway. That's right. We're good. full heal as part of the lead into this fight. So if Rydia gets hit here, she's pretty much just dead. However, I think we'll be okay. Anybody else getting hit is not a problem. So 1500 there. And it heals us up even with the wall spells being thrown out. $4,000 damage across the board because Palom is ridiculous. This is a really high hit point spot, but because it's split 3 ways and we can do area of effect, we should be okay. There's our media. Don't get to see this very often, but that'll do it. You can see there, Rydia, everybody else got a little bit. Rydia got 7 levels. This isn't like a super high XP spot, but it's a start to getting Rydia caught back up. We're intentionally not opening chests here because the Mad Ogre chest would be really rough with this party. Mad Ogres are the trap chest for the tower here, and they are actually very... They're almost immune to magic, so we don't want to deal with them, basically. There's our Falcon, and we now have underground access. So, we have covered, again, the overworld and shopping aspect, which is pretty similar almost every time. Slightly different approach when you have a low-power party like we have compared to last time when we had Fu and a bunch of really powerful characters. And the hook route and the D machine gun. So, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. We'll continue this with the underground. We'll do the tower and a few other places, and we'll go from there. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. There are links to the Discord as well as to my my guides that I've written and the wiki for the primary page, all in the description. And as always, have a good one.